Hello, everybody.
Oh,
there he is. Get on that microphone, young man.
I'm just
hey, everybody.
Hello. Just
What's
say
up,
hello,
man?
everybody. Welcome to This Is Not a
Hello.
Live Stream, even though it is, and I said it is also, so don't...
What's happening?
okay,
Why people
anyway.
are confused?
No.
We're at T-minus 6 hours, people.
That's right.
know,
It's
what's
happening.
happening?
It's happening.
We're going to sit
To
here
launch.
until it launches and tell you how cool space is.
Are we?
No.
We should live stream the launch.
Well, we
in
can't
theory,
do it
we
today.
I know,
Shit.
but we should have.
could. What time is it at? 6:30?
6:20 something.
We might be able to...
Today is what?
All right, hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, so welcome, everybody. It's today we're going to talk about Ronaldo versus Messi. Anybody? No? Okay.
No.
The
Okay.
truth about astrology.
Yes.
Carl Sagan, CIA PSYOP, and Bob quits caffeine. And then we'll do MySpace videos. Do you get it? Okay, it's April Fool's Day, whatever. Okay, it was a joke. I'm sorry. That's the only joke we're doing today.
I was like, we're not talking about any of those things.
No, we're not talking about it. It's a joke. It's
Good one.
Ronaldo. Do you even know who Ronaldo and Messi
No.
is?
No.
They're famous soccer players.
Oh,
That's why I was
yeah.
like, they're never going to talk about soccer players.
No,
Football.
except for what we just
Football.
talked right now.
I get
Ball.
thrown every time British people talk about football. I initially think they're talking about football. And then I have to, like 30 seconds in, I'm like, oh, that's fucking soccer. I forget.
Dummies. Wait, is there double audio tracks on Patreon? Moved here to not lose my... I don't know what that means. And Bob is not quitting caffeine, right? Bob, you're sticking with it?
I go back and forth.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't really have any effect on me, but
Oh, okay.
here's the problem.
Is he
Often-
lying, Steve? That it has no effect on him?
Yes.
Okay, good.
He is so full of shit. Yeah, okay. How about this? I had 4 or 5 cups of
4 or
caffeinated
5.
coffee every day,
Uh-huh.
and then I quit for a month,
Foosball.
and I had not one symptom. And he's like, "You didn't quit long enough." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I didn't quit long enough. A month, and I had not
It
one
takes
symptom."
6 weeks.
6 weeks. There you go.
Okay, there you
2
go.
extra
I was
weeks.
2 weeks off.
2
Meanwhile,
weeks off.
people who, most people, would after 3 days would be like, what the
Jittering.
hell? I need my
Yeah,
caffeine.
your headache would hit you like the next day.
But here's the thing: when I go out, I don't necessarily specify decaf because it's often not hot, and that really makes me cranky.
Yeah.
Because not as many people apparently order decaf, right? So it's been sitting there for a while. It's like, are you kidding? This is like barely very warm. It needs to be hot.
Barely very warm.
You
Oh,
gotta
it's
get
a weird
pour over
description.
or whatever.
I only drink decaf, and I only drink it before 12 p.m.
But there's still a
mean
soupçon
noon?
of
12 noon?
caffeine in
That's what I meant.
decaf, right? There's a little caffeine. in
Isn't
decaf.
12 noon, 12 p.m.?
Yeah,
No.
if it's
12
decaf,
p.m. makes no sense.
at best, it has 3%
PM means
caffeine.
post-meridian.
The
That's still pretty
decaffeination
Noon, so
process
12
reduces it to
afternoon.
3%.
3%, yeah.
But if
You
you
know, it's
pull
not
products off
afternoon,
the
it's-
shelf
Or before
and
noon,
test
AM.
them,
You're saying that no one
it
says
could be
12
anywhere
a.m.
from
or
3 to
12 p.m.?
20.
Plenty of people say it. But
Steve
it's
is trying to give
inaccurate.
knowledge,
It's
and these
12
guys are
noon
just
to 12
yakking.
midnight.
Okay.
What are we
Just
talking
one
about?
of my pet
Gremlins?
peeves.
No, Bob's angry
Feeding
at me.
gremlins.
But 12 p.m. is 12 noon, and 12 a.m. is 12 midnight.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't say 12
Well,
p.m.
yeah.
then?
But not always.
Yeah, always. 12 p.m. is noon, and 12 a.m. is midnight.
I know, but technically, and that we love technically, it makes no sense. It's 12
But that's
noon,
the convention. It's all
12
convention.
Yeah, but some people don't follow that convention. Like we would have meetings scheduled at work, and they would specifically set it to like 12:01 a.m. or 11:59 PM type of thing, so
12:01
that
a.m.
there was no confusion, because some people would make goofy mistakes. But technically, it makes no sense, right? PM means post-meridian, which means afternoon. So how could 12 be afternoon?
Because
anti-meridian AM is the same. Sure, the convention is AM
12 OM?
is midnight and PM is afternoon.
So you could
Because
say,
the-
12 on
because the
meridian?
instant it hits 12, you're at least a fraction of
second.
a second after 12. You're already post at 12:00, except for that one instantaneous moment when it's exactly 12. You are post meridian.
So say 12. Then say 12:01.
But you you have a whole
So
minute
we
where it's not
skip it?
12:01 yet,
This
but
is
you're still
crazy.
post 12.
Bob.
Say,
Bob.
I'm just saying technically. I'm just saying it's interesting to think that PM means it's afternoon, so you can't be 12 and then afternoon at the same time. It's logical.
well, how much can you get done in that 1 second?
We could just use
We're going to meet
military
at
time.
12. Ian, I'm going to meet you tomorrow at 12.
That's not the problem, because you
Then-
could you
Yeah.
could make a reasonable
Military
argument
time.
that
Thank you.
that 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. are either are swappable.
No, you
And
can't.
you can,
You're
of
wrong.
course you can. Why can't you? It's just because the convention is that AM is.
Yeah, but
is-
then you
is
switch the
noon.
AM and PM right at the first minute? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like 12 p.m. and then you have to switch it to 12 01
right?
a.m.
Yeah.
On the clock we have there, when it turns 12, it'll say, most digital clocks will say 12 p.m.
But yeah, right. But technically, it's wrong, because PM does
All
not
right.
mean
Okay.
that.
What do you got for us
So
today?
this was the welcome to the April Fool's.
But what, Bob? What if it's 12 p.m. at the equator
Oh, crap.
or at the North Pole?
Yeah, what time do they use at the North Pole, Jay?
Isn't time
How
an
does that work?
illusion? Isn't time all just?
I
let's-
still, after all this time, I still don't remember the answer to
Like,
that.
all this
I just
time.
don't remember.
It's time. All right, let's talk about time dilation while we're talking
Okay,
about whatever the hell
yes.
this
Oh, boy,
is
here we
that
go.
we're talking about. So, did I unmute that? Yes, I did. Okay, here we go. Boom.
I didn't know
ever
what
come to
make of this
learn
for
completely
40
against
40
my
nanosecond.
will is that time
Mechanism.
actually passes more slowly the faster that you're moving. Like if you and your friend were sitting in the desert, both wearing analog wristwatches that could measure nanoseconds, and your friend pops a squat by a cactus, but you go and run like 3 miles yonder and then like 3 miles back, which you like totally shouldn't do in the desert, by the way. By the time you get back to your friend and you hold up your wristwatches, your wristwatch will read an earlier time than your friends. Less time will have passed for you, and your body will have actually aged less. The craziest thing I've ever come to learn.
All right, I
That
mean,
was it.
yeah, I see what she's doing there. She's mainly right. Of course, you could tweak it for a totally anal correctness, because it's not. She's not saying relative to somebody else. That's the key there.
Yeah.
You age less compared to a person who wasn't moving at that speed. So if you wanted to be totally anal about it, I would have thrown that in there just to be safe. And she's right. Nanoseconds. That's about right. If you had a clock that was accurate to nanoseconds and you ran for a few miles, it would be off by some number of nanoseconds at that level of difference.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I
Um,
don't really find it. I
The
mean,
thing, yeah, this is just, quantum mechanics, special relativity is amazing. But the thing that she said that I thought might give people the wrong impression, like you would be actually younger. So yeah, it's not like you aged slower than your perception of time.
Right.
Your perception of time and is always the same.
Right.
Right. So to you experienced however many nanoseconds you experienced. That's how much you've aged.
Yeah.
It's just that the other person experienced a few more nanoseconds than you did because they were not moving.
Right. Yeah, but one of the best ways, because there's two different types of time dilation,
Yeah.
right? There's gravitational and one with velocity. So when I'm describing them, I would say it's relative velocity time dilation. It's always relative. It's got to
Yeah.
be relative to something, right? Relativity. Hello. And then gravitational time dilation is like your proximity to a gravity well or a curved space.
Do you want
with
to talk
slow
about
time.
the twin paradox? Which
Oh, yeah.
people misunderstand what that
Oh
actually
yeah, that's
refers to.
That's another.
So the twin,
whole
you know what the
level.
twin paradox
I
is?
do.
Give me your explanation.
It's
of it.
one twin stays on Earth, and the other one goes up in a rocket, and then whatever achieves some speed, and the twin comes back, and it could both have atomic clocks as well, right? And the one that was
Wouldn't
on
need
the
'em.
rocket, when they get back, would have experienced less time than the one on the planet.
What's the paradox?
Fewer time.
The paradox is they both can speak a language that they made up with each other.
So the paradox
Yeah.
is not that they're different ages. The paradox is why did the one twin experience slowing and not the other one?
Yeah, it's 'cause of
Because
speed.
From their point
No.
of view, the other twin
But-
went away and came back, and both are valid.
that's right. Because velocity is relative, space is relative.
Mm-hmm.
So if like this twin went and then came back, but that to this twin's perspective, this twin went away and came back, right? I mean, there's according to relativity, there should be no difference between those two. It's all relative.
Right.
So why is this the one who aged slower?
So it's the rocket that ages you.
No,
What's the answer?
the answer probably is the person who was undergoing acceleration is
Right.
the one who experiences the time dilation.
Yeah, of course.
Right, and the reversal, right? It slowed down, stopped, and came back.
Right, that's the key.
That's the critical
Yeah.
piece right there. So yeah, I remember when I had that superficial understanding decades ago, and like somebody called me on it. I'm like, damn man, a new onion layer, awesome. It's like, yeah, I get it now. It makes more sense.
In our instance of the universe,
yeah.
there is a dash of crazy sauce in there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not intuitive to the human mind. A lot of these.
Again, it's all perspective because it's our mind evolved.
Low energy,
In-
low
in middle space,
acceleration, low mass.
It evolved for the things that are intuitive to us are just where we happen to fit into the universe in terms of our time and velocity and all that stuff. If we were quantum creatures, that would be intuitive to us. If we lived at relativistic speeds, that would be intuitive to us.
But to us, it's crazy time.
Do you want to hear about another twin paradox?
Yes.
Okay, so this is something somebody tagged us in this. This is from the Daily Mail, which, if you can believe it, mother who slept with identical twin brothers in same week can't tell which is her daughter's father. And apparently, geneticists, based on this article, can't either, because it's the same father, and they would, if they do some blood tests based on that, it would essentially show that they're.
So would that happen?
Well, okay. The actual nitty gritty, if you read into it, that's just cursory. It's like the rapid tests can't reveal it. But if you their twins are apparently 0.01% different genetically, so you can actually get it. It takes a longer test.
Oh,
so the
cool.
court ruled because they took one of the twins is on the birth certificate. The other twin and the mother sued that twin in the state to get him off the birth certificate. This is in the UK.
Okay.
The judge wouldn't do that because there wasn't enough evidence to suggest that he wasn't the father, but it would take a longer time to get that information, like when the kid gets older. Apparently, I think they wanted to I don't know. There's something with the genetic testing.
That's a mess though.
So
That's a
it's
messy
an interesting
situation.
little paradox. I don't know if it's really a paradox, but it's
something related. I always thought was fun was and this has happened where you've got two identical twin men marry two identical twin women, have kids. Those kids are cousins, but they're actually really
Super
siblings. They're siblings.
They're genetically
genetic
siblings?
genetically
So,
much closer to almost being siblings, right? Or
basic, for all intents and purposes, siblings.
yeah. There's more to this story that's like it's not just
Yeah, I figured
like
it's gotta be.
that you can't actually tell. It's just like
Yeah, but
not
also
easy.
I was thinking she had sex with. What was the title? Her own.
She
twin
did
kids?
have. She slept with the twins. Oh, hold on.
Oh, just twins, not her.
Help us.
Not her own twins.
She slept with two men that were identical twins.
Okay, but
All right,
the
At the
real
same
story
time
here,
or a different
the
time?
real
within
story
4
here.
days or something.
See,
like
I think that there's a more interesting story,
that.
Ian.
Not at the same time.
The more interesting story is, did she deliberately have sex with the other twin?
Well, you'd think.
Just to
Stand
Or
by,
then
Chad,
use
I
the
gotta
excuse.
Think
fix
it was the first twin.
No,
And not know. Did they pull a switcheroo on her?
in my current political environment, Bob, I would suspect malfeasance over mistakes. How do you mistake who your husband is? I dated a twin,
Yeah, I remember.
and I could tell them after dating her for about 2 weeks. I could tell them apart easily, and their voices weren't identical and everything. Like I could tell them apart.
Yeah.
In many ways. So there is no like identical twin.
Maybe
you know?
their whole relationship, they were just drunk.
Maybe, yeah, that makes sense.
Why is this thing bugged out? Hold on.
Is that what people are seeing?
Yes.
All right, so we just got to entertain them by talking, guys.
Just talk.
You sure they can
Because they
hear us?
get-
Can you hear us?
Audio's different.
They can hear us, right?
Okay, they can hear you.
All right. Well. Anyway,
Stand by, chat. Stand by.
so there was a thing that popped up on that screen that I wanted to know the answer
No.
to. So Trump
There we go.
reacted to Kristi Noem's
Oh my
husband's
God! I knew you were going to talk
cross-dressing.
Yes.
Wait. I just want to know what Trump said about that because
I pray for their family or something. I don't know. Actually, she asked for prayers, and then he said it's like weird for their family or something. I don't know.
Was he
Do you wanna
defending her?
actually- I mean, no, he just said it's like very strange. I think is what I remember. him
Okay,
saying.
well that's very vanilla for Trump.
is
I
like
thought he was
whatever.
going to say something horrible, you know.
No, I think it's whatever.
I choose
Sound
not
is
to
okay.
care what he said about
Yeah,
that.
honestly, it's like who cares? I mean,
It is pretty.
whatever.
It is a crazy thing that that like of all the drama that's going on,
It's the only thing apparently you can hold.
Apparently.
Apparently, that you can shame them on is like some weird thing
yeah.
that they do in their personal life, as opposed to
True, they're pretty much
murder,
beyond
starting.
shame.
I know. I mean,
wars,
that's the
pedophilia.
irony of it. Like him dressing as a woman is the most normal thing about them and their relationship.
Yeah, right. It's like, all right.
I was really expecting, because this is like, Republicans
video,
don't like trans anything. You know what I mean? Transvestites, transgender. They don't like it. It's
Trans fats.
Yes.
Well, who likes? Well, actually, don't they? Aren't is the
Actually,
beef
they do like
tallow
they like
trans fat?
trans
They do
fats
like
are the only
trans
trans they like.
That's right. They hate Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's a perfect movie.
You like that, huh?
Because they're secretly erotically turned on.
Yeah,
by
well,
it.
that's the thing. That's like the only thing you can hold them. They will be shamed of is their internal feelings.
It's like the
about-
fundamental ministers who rail against homosexuality. who
Yeah,
are
they're often-
clearly gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Well, anyway, let's move on to. Wait, I can't actually even bring up the topics because they're fake topics. All right, I got a bunch of fun things. Okay, deep fake scammers.
Do it.
Have you seen this video? Let's see if you've seen this one.
Thing, though, what
Can't hear
how
anything.
would
This
I
is a okay. This is I think Jim Browning was like a infamous YouTube scam baiter. Like he finds scammers. So this,
Okay.
believe it or not, is live deepfake, or at least he believes so.
Live deepfake.
Live deepfake, and you'll see why.
How do I know you're not some AI thing though? How would I be able to tell?
Here, man. Here.
Oh, is that? Sorry, can you hold that up?
It's not AI.
Can you?
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
I
Did it change?
but it's not his name. That's a.
That's
like
our director.
Oh, I see. I thought it would be your name.
No. That's our director. We have a multiple. You see all of them here.
Oh, I see.
So, Ronnie.
But
a little
but
off, but-
is there
What's
not
going
some
on?
way of telling whether you're real or not? Can you like hold up 3 fingers in front of your face or anything?
Oh, come on. That's too much.
Oh, you don't want to do that. The 3 fingers
I'll do that
in
here.
front of your face is deliberate. So
What do you mean? I mean, that's too much. Come on, Ronnie.
why would it affect the AI if it was in front of your face?
Well, not at all.
You can hold
But
up
I
and
don't
you
know.
do
It's
here,
too much to
but not
ask
here.
somebody.
Well,
Well, I'm just
make
doing
sure
it.
you're not AI. Is that unreasonable? I mean, can you do that in front of your face?
Well, I think that that's too much to ask somebody. Don't you think that?
No, I don't think it is. If I'm making sure you're not AI, I think that's a reasonable thing to ask. Can you hold up 3 fingers in front of your face?
Wow, he doesn't want to do it, man.
Well, I think that, is that enough?
No, it's not in front of your face. He's really doing his
Well,
best here.
that's too much, don't you think?
Yes, it is, because, if you were real, you would put up 3 fingers in front of your face. Yes, I thought so.
Okay.
So
Nice.
So,
I
in
didn't
case you're
know.
unfamiliar with
Yeah.
like what these guys do, like that was a scammer that was using an AI program that was auto changing his appearance, and so if you put 3 fingers in front of his face, it would mess with the AI and it wouldn't be able to recognize his human face, and then apply this filter essentially of like the white guy.
Got it. Got
Nice,
it.
You know
man.
what I mean?
Just
So-
in case anyone's concerned,
Yeah, there you go. Oh, Bob's
at
real.
least one of us is real.
At
So,
least
so
right
now.
what we were seeing was a guy that was
Who's-
sitting at a desk who had a filter on to look like
Right.
somebody else.
essentially, and it's pretty good, not great. There's still some weird things.
Yeah,
But it's
still-
pretty good enough to probably convince a lot of people that he's just like, a guy or whatever. But Jim Browning is infamous of like trying to find them. He also like often like hacks into some of these people's like cameras in the call centers and like spies on
Nice.
them and is like, hey, I can see what you're doing. Blah, blah. And it's very
I love
entertaining,
it, man.
as like a scam baiter anyway. But somebody tagged us in that and was like, oh, look at how good AI is in a way. Especially be careful out there when it comes to scams.
Of course. I mean, you can't trust anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. My internet usage or my social media usage has changed a lot. Meaning, like, my filter is I don't believe any video that I see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm not even
Yeah.
like trying to figure it out anymore. I just assume everything is fake.
If it's
at
only
this
just
point.
even slightly odd, I'm like, is this real? I mean, God.
I mean, you got to start there,
Yeah.
but you have to give a chance to find out that something is real, because otherwise you won't believe real stuff. That's
That's
the
the
biggest
problem.
problem.
Yeah.
It is what it
believing-
is, though. You know, like, because how are we gonna know? You know, like, things are getting better so fast. Like, you know, it's gonna before you know it, it's gonna be accessible to everybody that they're gonna make any fake video that they want.
Well, let's look at some illusions since we're
Okay.
talking about things we fall for. And let's see how we think about this one. This is kind of a comedy bit, though. Did you see him?
Oh, see the shadow?
Did you see? Yeah.
I love
Did you
it.
know? It was
I
a pretty.
couldn't-
I mean, it's a comedy bit, but it's pretty. I didn't see him when I first watched it, and I was like, oh,
All right, let's just see that one.
yeah. I'll
Yeah, I
just
was
see.
looking at the big screen. I couldn't see the bottom of it.
I guess that's possible to do.
Nice. Look at that.
I mean,
That's some high level thief shit right there.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a high level.
That's pretty cool.
Good prep.
Yeah.
It tricked you. It also tricked you. Yeah, it might have tricked me.
Oh, I didn't see it at
yeah,
all.
yeah. I mean, it's a it's a little comedy bit, but it is funny what we pay attention to. You know, a little
Oh
misdirection
yeah,
kind of thing.
intentional blindness.
All right. What was another illusion that I thought was pretty fun that I saw? Okay, this is a little bit of a long one. Can y'all see that enough?
It's kind of small.
Yeah. Let me zoom in just because you got to look at the letters, and you'll see in a
What
second.
letters?
Stand by. Well, there's
In the
letters
center.
right in exactly. Yeah, in the center.
I see it.
There are letters.
We can see it on the. I can see it on the big screen.
You can see it on the big screen. Okay, but
If I would look at this, is it going to wipe my hard drive?
it will. Yeah, the hard drive in your brain.
Mm.
Hold on. Let me
Let's
just
reboot
make
ourselves.
it bigger. Stand by. I don't know why they made this video so small. Reddit.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Hold on. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank
So
you.
Just stare at. I'll put it over here so you can see it.
At the
Stare
V.
at the letter right in the middle. Try to absorb all this other stuff.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Let me go back.
Ooh. What's happening?
We don't really need the music.
All right, that's making me feel a little weird.
So yeah, just stare at the letter. Okay, you can see it has nothing to do with the letters themselves. Just
That's
keep,
the
it
focal
The
point.
focal point, yeah. Just keep looking.
It's a little
keep looking.
disorienting.
It's a little weird. Like you start, the edges get weird, and that little 5-sided thing puzzle piece looks odd. Just keep staring at it. Keep staring at it. You got about 30 seconds left. Keep.
That long.
Just turn yourself off and on again. Yeah, exactly. All right, just keep looking, keep staring.
It's actually making my eyes hurt a little bit.
Yeah, you can blink. You don't have to.
Yeah. There's bright lights in our eyes.
It
here,
is bright
so-
lights. I apologize. I don't think it's damaging, but I am not an optometrist or an
okay.
epistemologist. Keep looking. Okay, and right here. Oh crap! It just stopped.
Yeah, look at the back of your hand.
There you go. Look at that. Now it's not. The
Whoa.
video's not moving. The video's not playing. But you see how it's all
Yeah,
wiggly,
jiggly.
wiggly jiggly. It stays with you for a little bit.
Yeah, it's settled down.
It settles down after a while.
Yeah, that's cool. It's
But that's pretty fun.
saturating some visual
And if you look at
receptors, or no, what's it saturating in our visual system? It's
The rhodopsin.
yeah, something like that. I don't actually know the effect behind it, but somebody tagged us in that, and they were like, "This is cool. It's like what you do." It's like, I was like, yeah, it does like what
Yeah, I
we do.
looked like the one. It's a similar one where you look at then you look at your hand, and your hand is
Right.
That's-
morphing.
you probably
It's
could
the
do
same
that.
thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, you probably do the same thing. Hold on, let me full screen this. Okay, that's a little bit better. Boop. All right. So that was a little illusion-y thing that somebody
It's an
tagged us. Thank you so much.
illusion.
All right, let's look at some
Visual
weird
ROM, I love it.
science, weird or medical procedures. I don't know if you're familiar with the halo gravity traction
Mm-hmm.
for scoliosis. Are you familiar with this?
What?
Let me stop the music.
I mean,
'cause I don't
those
know
are
if
like in his skull, aren't they?
they are, yeah, essentially attached to their skull. This is apparently a real treatment that helps scoliosis, which it just seems very crazy. But
I would think
I
it wouldn't
don't-
be anywhere nearly as effective as
I don't
using
know.
the
Yeah,
rods and stuff in your spine.
yeah, there's a halo gravity. Let me see treatment. Let me look it up.
Kid looked like he was enjoying it.
Well, I'm sure it's probably fun. But yeah, it's a specialized orthopedic treatment used to gradually straighten severe spinal deformities such as scoliosis or kyphosis in children and
gradual.
some adults. I mean, it looks pretty barbaric, if I have to call it anything. But apparently, it is used, and
Okay.
interesting scientific procedures that might scare you on first blush.
I bet you that cost a lot of money.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know how they attach it into your skull and
Yeah,
keep
could
you
you,
from
like-
getting an infection.
Couldn't you just hang from your armpits and then put weights on your legs and swing around to stretch
Well, I
your
guess
spine?
if it's the vertebrae up to your neck, up to the top back of
yeah.
your head, but if it is like the bottom vertebra, you'd think maybe you're right.
Halos are not uncommon. They do that when they operate on people's necks or people have neck trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah, they attach it to their
skull.
shoulders.
Yeah,
you know,
so you can't move.
You cannot move. Yeah.
So do they give you something to like stave off infection, or is it just unlikely to get an infection on the top of your head like that, like medication of some sort?
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's just done sterilely and packed.
Oh, and
you know,
just yeah.
I imagine, like, look at the curvature of that spine. Imagine somebody having that condition. That looks terrible.
Yeah. All right. So that was one thing somebody sent in. Thank you so much. All right. What weird things humans do? I don't even remember what this one was. Oh, what do you guys think of extreme sports? Since we were talking about sports. This is in Brazil. Skateboard 22 stories up.
I think young people are crazy.
You think the young Red Bull's doing so?
Oh
Look at
my
that.
God.
Look at that.
Jesus.
What's it going to end as, though?
Apparently not AI. I must admit, I love ringed gyro videos. Oh yeah, those are kind of.
All right, go ahead, play it.
All right, it's playing. Hold on, let me skip.
It just takes him like a
forward.
half hour to jump.
He's just thinking about it. It's like maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't.
What the hell
Alright,
am
here
I
he goes.
doing?
I think the real thing is, how does it end?
A little drop. Yeah, you kick flip. Hopefully.
All right, dude. Yeah, drop in, man.
Ooh, there you go. Drop
Wow, look at that.
And what do they got? Pool.
Wait.
That's all we get?
in. No, it just is showing multiple angles.
Yeah. All right. How about
Alright, that's
let's
pretty-
Wow.
Some of the angles don't look as crazy, and then you see other ones, and you're like, whoa.
I like this one.
All right. So how does it end?
It just he just hits a wall.
Hopefully good. We'll find out. Here we go. Bonk.
That's it. That's it.
Foam
Nice.
blocks.
Nice.
He made it.
That's a good decelerator.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was totally just about to drop.
Yeah, it was just about the drop in.
You just
That
don't
was
want to
literally
fall.
it. You don't want to fall 22 stories up. That's a spinal decompression. Yeah, well,
Well,
that's one thing. I don't know.
I mean,
it
if
might
you
be compression.
if you fell, you would hit the slope at some point, and you wouldn't be hitting it that hard because it's
You get
such
a
such
hell
an
of a road
extreme.
rash.
Yeah, you get a hell of a road rash. But then you'd follow the curve. It wouldn't be. I don't think you would die. It would be a hell of a road rash and some injuries.
Well, he's got a
but-
helmet on, and he's probably got very, very serious protective clothing on. That's you can get killed doing stuff like that.
It's a gradual deceleration if he had no.
I know if you land wrong, you
Real.
break your neck easily.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even with that big old helmet. All right, somebody sent in something you might be able to use for Who's That Noisy. Do you want me to save it, actually? Or do you want to listen to it?
That's fine. Go ahead, use it.
All right, well, people here will get a little preview. This is a European starling.
starling. They're evil.
They're evil.
Yeah.
Why, do they steal eggs and stuff?
No,
or-
they're invasive.
Oh.
They're fine in Europe. They're evil in America.
Ah, I see.
I can't really hear what you're singing.
He's got an attitude. My attitude.
Cool.
The double pitches is pretty cool.
All right.
I think he just does that for the rest of it. Let me
Yeah,
see.
I would not want to own that bird.
So they're invasive, but like what? Do they just eat all the food of native birds, or they eat the bird
Kill
eggs?
the-
They're
kill
very
babies?
aggressive, and they have no natural predators. They are displacing a ton of native birds. They will go to a native bird's nest, kick out the kids,
Yeah.
and take over the nest.
Classic.
Bastards.
Classic bastards.
Yeah,
you
they're
birds.
bastards.
You
They're
bastards.
pests.
Yeah, they're pests.
They were deliberately released in the U.S. by some asshole in Central Park in New
of
York
course.
Oh my
because he
God.
wanted every bird mentioned in Shakespeare to be in the U.S.
What?
And this is like 120 years ago, and now they're fucking everywhere.
You know, all you had to do was a Google search to find out how stupid that was.
Yeah, 120 years.
So should we kill them on site, Steve?
Oh, absolutely.
Like the was it
In the
lantern
US.
moth?
Yeah,
See
like
them,
lantern
kill
moths.
them. Doesn't matter how pretty they are.
Is
kill
that
them.
really effective? I mean, obviously we have to, like, sterilization programs seem to be like a big way also, right? Is to try to get the beast and sterilize it to prevent further growth of like the moths, right? Or like,
Oh, the moths.
well, I mean,
lantern
birds.
flies?
Yeah, the lantern. Sorry, the lantern. What are they called?
Lantern
Or the gypsy moth? Isn't that another one?
well,
That's
That's another one. The lantern moths are another invasive species.
Oh yeah, the red. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They're
they're
actually kind of pretty, but they were a real problem. And then they're much less this year than last year. And part of it is the kill on sight rule. Like if you see one, you step on it and kill
Right.
it.
Or you're supposed
Yeah.
to scrape the eggs off the tree if you've
Yeah.
noticed it.
if you can identify them.
Yeah.
But there are videos, you can find videos of like literally millions of European starlings in a flock feeding off of, like
Wow.
cornfields and stuff.
I mean, it'd be interesting or fun to have a bird that can make those kinds of noises if you trained it to do R2D2. Just have it bopping around your house.
Sure. Why not? Speaking of robots, here's
Talk to me.
Robbie
Oh, cool.
the Robot
Yep.
playing craps. This is an old picture.
Robbie.
If you guys are familiar with Robbie the Robot from what is it?
Very
From,
well accustomed.
What's the
For-
show?
for-
it was
Forbidden
in?
Planet.
Forbidden Planet.
That's what it was.
That's where he started.
In its time, the most expensive science fiction prop made at that time. I think he was a couple of $1 million even
Really?
back then. That's one of the reasons why you see him everywhere in the 50s and 60s.
No, that is not the Lost in Space robot.
No,
No, not Lost
absolutely
in
not.
Space.
No.
It's the same kind of vibe.
Forbidden
Same
Planet.
era,
Yeah.
but it's a different robot.
Well, actually, this is from the 50s, and Robot from Lost in Space was 60s. So
It's the
similar.
same. It's the same vibe. It's the same.
That costume must have really sucked to wear.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hot. Do you think
Well,
they
I'd
had
love to
fans in
have
there
him. I'd love to have the actual robot from Forbidden Planet. I mean,
very cool.
he can create. it's
Oh, yeah, you mean
it's
not the
it's
prop,
like-
the actual
It's like a
robot.
fabricator. This thing, you give it the chemical formula, and it can create like diamonds and alcohol and
Smooth too.
Oh, he was so good, man.
All right, let's do another little bit of an illusion thing. This is somebody that sent us this in. It's more illusions.
It's an illusion.
All right, let me see. This
Okay.
is the crazy thing about being creative. Hold on, let me full screen this.
Thing about being creative is this isn't the text, I printed it out.
The craziest thing about being creative is this isn't my ear, I printed it out.
I think the craziest thing about being creative is this isn't my shirt, I literally printed it out.
The craziest thing about being creative is this isn't actually a makeup swatch, I just made it out of metal. The craziest
All right,
I see the shtick.
what is the shtick? What is this one?
Oh,
She's gonna cut her finger off.
Maybe. What's fake in this image?
Her right breast.
Okay. Okay.
thing about being creative is these aren't my scissors, I just printed them out.
Okay. Here's
All right,
here's a good
she-
one. What's fake in this one?
she loves her printer. Her
Eye.
Her
hair.
eye could be the brush.
Something about her
hair,
forehead, or is that just?
Her forehead, maybe.
Thing about being creative is this isn't my mouth, it's just a video.
The craziest thing
Nice.
Now go back now. I
Didn't
wanna
see that. Yeah, go
Wanna
back
see
on that
Yeah.
one. That was.
That was a pretty good one.
About being creative is this isn't my
It covers
mouth,
up
it's
the
just a
thing.
video.
The craziest thing about being creative.
Craziest thing about being creative. Which one is it?
The guy picking his nose in the
I
background.
don't get it. Oh, the guy picking
It's not real.
Is this isn't my eyeliner? I printed it out.
I think the craziest thing
It's hard to
about
say.
being creative
All right, what is it? This is the last one I'll do.
Thank you.
Well, let me look. Her forehead.
Her forehead,
Her
her
hand,
nose, her
her hand.
is this isn't my hand. It's actually part of my hand crown. The craziest
All right. Anyway, this somebody tagged us in this and was like, "I fell for it every time."
I printed
right.
it out.
There's some good ones
printed it
there.
out.
Well, good for her.
It's a funny shtick. It's pretty cool.
The
Anyway,
best one was the first one.
the first one was the best. Yeah, you're right. The
With the-
text.
the
That one I
text.
fell for. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But it's funny what we don't notice or don't pay attention to, I guess.
Well, it's also that's the, we're seeing a two-dimensional image representing
Right,
three-dimensional
right.
space. and
Definitely.
It's easy to. What was the show that did a lot of those kind of visual illusions? The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
You know, like you're seeing-
we like walkthroughs.
Telephone.
Yeah, like there's a telephone in the foreground,
Big.
and a person in the background, and then the phone rings. The person walks forward to answer it, and the phone is huge. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not just
Closer
perspective.
to
yeah.
the camera. Yeah.
I like that.
Oh my
That's
God,
classic.
that shows.
That's classic. That was a good one. All right.
I like when at the end, at the end of some shows, some comedies,
They freeze.
They freeze because they actually literally freeze the film. But in one episode, they were pretending to freeze, and then after a while,
Oh, you can see the guy blink
like pretend to
or try to
they gotta
swallow.
swallow.
That was Police Squad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was good.
Oh, it's the
very
same-
funny.
I
hope-
Same thing, I know.
same right.
Naked
Memories
Gun.
are probably better than reality at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's still funny.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't want to update the memory with the reality. It's like my memory. I like what my memory's done to it.
Don't watch the Dark Crystal or Total Recall.
Oh yeah.
Do not.
No,
watch
Total Recall moved into campy funny.
Yeah,
Well,
it did, and you
yeah,
agreed.
all right, a
you
little
kind of
bit.
agreed. Yeah, there was a period of time where it's like, what
It
happened
went from
to
being
this awesome
this is
movie?
cool science fiction to this is shit to this is funny campy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was totally watchable the last time we saw it a few years ago.
Don't look into OJ post Naked Gun. Just like ignore that whole
Oh my
thing.
God.
Just ignore it. All right.
was
Apparently, this is kind of old, but China has some interesting updates to their highways to keep people from not
Awake?
driving off the road. Yeah. This is apparently in Shenzhen.
What?
Damn, man.
Giant lights to keep you awake at night, for long road trips.
Does it work?
I don't know. I mean, if
Sure,
you
man.
have,
it's gotta help a
if you
lot.
have, what's the
wait,
people?
wait, what was that laser in the beginning? though?
the
Was it-
laser? I think is a similar thing. I don't know actually if it is.
Is it like telling the cop that he was speeding or something?
Yeah, I think it's just to keep you awake because you're like, oh, actually, it might be an alert to like heavy traffic based on the fact that there's like heavy traffic here and it's like slow down. I don't know, but I think it's really just these things. I guess if you're epileptic, it might not be the best time to drive at night, but 'cause
Also, it has to be foggy for that.
Depends
to
on the
work.
frequency.
I guess,
That's
true.
probably
Yeah,
fine.
It's probably slow enough that it's not
Yeah.
triggering.
I forget what there's some optimal frequency for driving.
Oh, that's interesting.
Creepy magician
photoreactive
says
effect.
it says I like the new Dark Crystal. Yeah, man, that
Yeah.
new one's better.
I was talking about the new
was-
Dark Crystal's good. I'm
it
talking about
was
the
so
80s
good.
movie.
the props and the artistry and the creativity were
Yeah.
just so
Great.
good, and it was so disappointing that it didn't make a second season because it just I guess it wasn't popular enough. It's like,
Have you ever
come
seen the making
on.
of?
Yes.
the reboot?
Yeah.
type of- No.
Oh, it's
Well, I
great.
think I did see that.
It's a whole the whole set. Is a set above a set. We have the puppeteers below. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
A lot of Muppets who like that too.
Yeah, the original is like very uncanny valley, right? And it's also like the editing, I think, maybe is slow. So it's
Yeah, it was
kind
very
of-
slow.
I think
And it's very
weird.
80s.
it's
Yeah,
even
yeah.
like the hairstyles and
Yeah.
the clothing, but I think a re-edit probably would help that a lot.
Maybe, yeah.
Good.
All right, somebody else
You don't see that though.
tagged us in this. Apparently, because I can't not say that.
Yeah, I started it. That's-
The full network of clitoral nerves mapped out for the first time, some 30 years after
What a disgrace,
the
man.
the
you know,
penis was plotted.
We
for
knew
the same
so
mapping.
much more about the penis in the 90s.
In the
In the 90s, and only now has the female equivalent.
And why?
matched.
Why is it that way?
Well, I mean,
Because
guess.
for a lot of reasons, right?
Yeah, funding from cultural taboos,
Taboos,
is one thing.
yeah,
and it's
just
like
so ridiculous, man.
You
a
would
lot
think
of
they'd
stuff.
want to really know where the nerve endings are. That's right.
Hello, yeah, this is valuable information.
Yeah, like was there anything that I need to know about that article?
Well, the Guardian says even with this mapping, men still have trouble finding it. So there is that.
Oh my God,
Anyway,
that's
but
funny.
no, okay,
But
sorry.
no,
All
that
right,
was
fine.
that was
Sorry.
good. But
My
it's also
apologies.
good for a lot of other reasons, like some types of surgery, where like severing nerves because they didn't know where the full map of the nerve pathways. And now it's like okay, now we're not going to sever
here's
nerves. when we
here's
do
an
surgery there.
earth-shattering thing. You know, ask the woman what feels good. You just ask her. You don't have to. You don't have to know her physiology perfectly. Just let her tell you what's good, and that's how.
Sounds woke.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sounds woke. All right, so that was just somebody.
Oh man, you could imagine some.
Sent in. Good news in the
Extreme.
world of science, thankfully. All right, let's look at some
Slow.
of the TikToks that we have procured for your enjoyment.
Okay.
So here we go. April Fools. This is about the NASA, the big NASA. Let me see.
On none other than April Fools. Happy New Year, by the way. You know the word NASA means deception in Hebrew? And I love that they added in T minus. Take those letters, rearrange them, and put them all together, and what do you get? I'll let you figure out that one. I've always had the question, how did the cameraman get there? Or maybe why did the one corner of the flag blow in the wind when everything else was stiff? Or what created all of the shadows on what looked like a desert land? Buzz Aldrin openly admitted on 3 different occasions that it was just a production. Neil Armstrong refused to swear on the Bible. And how many people in Hollywood openly admitted that it was all a lie? What is the moon anyways? Plasma in the sky? A direct reflection of the
Plasma.
Earth? Who knows? I can't help but think of all the days in the year. They choose April Fools to give us a sky event. Another landing on the moon. It's just another truth
They're
being
not landing on the
exposed.
moon.
Who
No, they're
knows? Maybe it's
I
just
will-
another
Ian,
distraction.
I will answer
It's all just
of
a
her
part
questions.
of the movie,
Okay.
a part of the script.
As soon as she
So
tells me
y'all
how much
enjoy the show
Botox she
tomorrow.
got shot into her upper lip.
I mean,
That just like piss you off immediately, just like.
all of like the
disgusting.
nonsense.
It's like I'm an
things she
incurious
spews.
idiot. Do you ever notice how I don't know anything?
You had to never do any research. I don't know what Google is.
See, this is where I have a hard time not judging people horribly. You know, when I see videos like this, I default to like, I found fault in everything about her. Like I didn't like anything about the way she presented herself, the way she talked. I didn't like the fact that her upper lip no longer functions. It's gross. It's just fucking gross. I hate all that. I don't like people when they start to look plastic. That's when
Well,
when
yeah,
it
but
really
that's-
freaks me out.
That might just be they didn't get the thing that they wanted.
What do you
know,
mean?
Like they didn't get the plastic surgery that they wanted. You know, you pay for what you get, kind of in some sense.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
like the,
I'd
better,
rather-
I think
the better plastic surgeons are very expensive.
I think this
like-
could be the toupee fallacy, but I always think that, particularly women, I just think they look better when they don't get plastic surgery. They
It's the toupee fallacy.
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. When you can tell that they had work done, it's always bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it amazes me how, like, celebrities who have the money destroy themselves.
Yeah.
But that's a longer conversation. But there are other times, like, someone who looks really good for their age, and you're like, maybe they had work done, and you really just don't
know.
notice it.
You
And
can't tell.
I saw Jane Fonda recently.
That's a
She's
good point.
what? How old is she? Upper 70s?
Yeah.
80s?
Probably in her 80s.
And she clearly, she must have had lots of
88.
different.
Yeah.
88.
My mom's age, and she clearly had many surgeries. But from video I recently
But none
saw,
of that uncanny valley.
nothing. It was like, damn, that was damn good surgery. Who's your surgeon? Wow.
Yeah, there's like a subtlety.
All right. So there's fantastic plastic surgeons out there
But
that
it's also how, if you're going for just a subtle effect, I think it's going to be much better. When you do the full thing, like get the lips and the cheek and all that stuff, you create that same visage.
it's a look.
It's all uncanny valley. It's just that's
Well,
always shocking.
while we're on this, did you guys see the Jim Carrey photos going around as
No.
of like a month ago or a
Yeah,
couple
I
weeks
saw
ago, where it was
something,
like,
but-
"Oh, Jim Carrey has been replaced," but it's because he probably got a little work done and his
No,
face was a
it's not.
little inflated.
It's not. You know
I
what
mean?
that was?
What?
So, I read this. I'm not 100% sure this is the truth, but
What'd you read?
that was someone pretending to be him
I don't think that's true.
that he put up to it. No, read it. Look
he?
it up. Let's try to find out. That's
All
what
right.
we do here.
That's
Let's
what we're
find out the
doing.
truth.
Jim Carrey, fake guy at award ceremony?
Yeah, it was the award ceremony.
Maybe. It could be.
Does anybody know about it out there?
I think, I mean, this looks like Jim Carrey. Like, that's...
Let's see. That's it.
Oh, it restated.
That doesn't look
an ad. Okay, that's Jim Carrey, certainly.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. That's definitely him.
Where's the image? Let me get the image. Jim Carrey body double, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be kind of funny if he did put somebody that essentially looked like him.
Yeah, let's look. Let's find out though. Somebody said it was a mask.
With longer hair and quieter than Trump than on the double, makeup artist Alexa Stone shared photos on Instagram posing in the lifelike mask of Jim Carrey, contributing to the confusion, but it was a separate artistic social experiment. So I think the body double rumor was a different social experiment, but that was actually him, because here it is, the side by side. This is like him a couple years ago, and this is him.
And they're saying that some people think that
this is not him. They think
that was him wearing a mask.
Somebody else.
I mean, it doesn't look like him.
I mean, it looks a little puffier, certainly. But I mean, he could have, gotten work done, and maybe he's like post surgery. I mean, but look at the dimple. I mean, like, that's like, I don't know. This was the whole thing that was going around on TikTok, that he's like, oh, he's been replaced. He's a body double. He's like,
Yeah, like anybody can replace Jim Carrey.
yeah. Well, there's that too.
Just do a shtick and let's see if it's actually good.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, anyway, wait, we're getting off topic. Let's go back to the
All right.
NASA thing. So,
Yeah, so do we really need to go
God.
No,
through
we're not going
debunk
through
every
this.
single thing
I
she
mean,
said?
it is a gish gallop. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to tell her about launch windows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't really necessarily choose when to launch. You have to, stick within your launch
But
windows.
what claim did she make about launch?
Well, it's on
window?
April 1st. Why is it
Oh,
on April
yeah.
1st? Well,
Who gives a shit?
Oh my God.
It's another day, people.
Yeah.
All right, I have an idea.
What about the shadow?
I have an idea. Let's fake all of this stuff that we're building.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we'll take the money from the government, but we'll fake everything.
Okay.
And then
drop subtle clues.
drop subtle clues, and then we'll launch it on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
That's
brilliant.
pretty good.
That's brilliant.
Incidentally, the Hebrew word NASA means to lift or to bear. So it doesn't mean
Wow.
what she was talking about. So
Not even correct with
Not
that
even correct with
simple
Yeah,
that.
no, that's all
Weird
bullshit.
translation.
weird anti-Semitic trope that she's like spewing. All right, this is another NASA one, since we're on the topic of NASA. This fucking guy.
Oh boy.
Let's just see what he has.
This-
I've been around for a while, but I just found this out that's like 100% confirmed to be true. Did you know that NASA has one of the largest film sets in the world on its property? That they claim, like, I don't even know what their claims are, but they got a massive film studio at the NASA center. Now, this is the same NASA which allegedly sent a bunch of guys to the moon, all of which get violent and angry when asked to swear on a Bible that they went to the moon. Which is a very odd reaction. I don't know if you've seen Buzz Aldrin, all these guys. Will you swear on a Bible? No, get the hell out of here. It turns into a big kerfuffle. Now, we have videos and images of the sun now with people with powerful cameras. We got the CGI images of the sun given by NASA, which, by the way, you can Google. Does NASA use CGI? I'll show you the result. Yes, NASA uses CGI, but primarily to illustrate concepts and events that cannot be filmed and for public outreach. So how are they going to use CGI to describe or illustrate, rather, a concept to you? But how do they know what the concept is or looks like that they're trying to CGI in the first place if they
that's enough.
cannot film?
Good.
So first of all, yeah,
Jesus.
NASA does not have a film studio. They have locations that they let Hollywood use, like Hollywood studios use to film movies, right? That's not NASA having a studio.
Right.
So like lots of places do that. Like I know Yale allowed one of the Indiana Jones movies to be filmed there because it was,
Yale has a film studio? I
yeah,
didn't know
well,
that.
that's a
see?
film studio. It's Yale is fake. So they have, like any large institution, especially one that has such a huge,
Cultural footprint.
not only that, but educational mandate,
Okay, right,
right?
right.
Yeah, they have the ability to make educational materials and promotional materials like fucking every other institution in the world. And so his point of how can they simulate something they don't know what it looks like in the first place? And the answer is, as often is the case, because you're an idiot. But imagine they want to show what it looks like for the Artemis to be going into orbit. There's no camera out there to film like
Right.
movie-esque, like as if it's in the cinema. But we know what Artemis looks like. We know exactly what it would look like if you were at that perspective filming Artemis launching into
This is
orbit.
what it looked
So
like.
they're showing a simulation of it's exactly what's going to happen, so that we could visualize and see our movie trained culture can visualize what's happening in things that it's not practical or just not even possible to actually film.
I mean,
it.
Steve, how do we know what Optimus Prime looks like when he turns into a truck?
I know.
I mean, think about that.
He just throws out, and he throws out. This has been 100% confirmed. It's like, really? Well, maybe how about just throw us a bone and tell us what that 100% confirmation is that they have said. And the building,
Because 100% confirmed means I read it on the internet.
that's what it means to him. Somebody that he trusts, verified.
Well, then somebody else will use him as a source. Say this has been 100% confirmed.
Yes,
Right, there you go.
I'm using him for that.
And then he shows different pictures of the sun. Like he has no idea
Right?
about filters and.
Oh my God! And yeah, our cameras are good as NASA telescopes and all the imaging systems that we have could bring to bear on the sun. Yeah, sure.
Why would
That
you
clear-
alter the image? Because it gives you different information about what you're looking at. I mean, it's just so ignorant.
It brings out
Yeah, it's like-
detail that you can't see.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like look at how blown out the one on the left is. It's just like a solid.
He's like, why
on the
why
right
do
one,
the
you're actually
astronauts-
seeing some of the
structures and-
structure.
Why are the astronauts getting violent when we go up to that? It's like,
All right.
I'll answer the question. Because idiots like you for the last 40 years have been going up asking the same stupid question, and at some point they get frustrated and angry.
if I had some money, I would pay people to go up to him every day for a decade and ask him stupid questions and see how he is after 10 years getting this accosted with the same stupid, ignorant questions. So let's see how he reacts.
Right, Ian, you started this shit,
I'm
man.
sorry, I did start
Christ.
this. It's my
Bring
fault.
back
doing,
the
Ian?
woman that with the stiff lip.
With
We'll,
the
we'll
stiff upper
talk to her.
All right, let's see
God,
what else
man,
we
we
got.
are doomed. We are
got-
doomed.
We're doomed.
And those same assholes are going to watch the Artemis launch,
Yeah.
where it's obvious what's happening. I mean, if you have the slightest bit of interest in sort of understanding the physics of what's going on, et cetera.
So yeah,
It's the firmament.
Artemis is launching in a couple hours. You said something interesting. They get in ready like 3 hours before. Is that something?
The crew will board the capsule 4 hours before launch. They seal them in 3.5 hours before launch.
Yep.
So right now, I think the hydrogen is fully loaded. They're loading the oxygen. These are both, super cooled, liquefied, oxygen and hydrogen. They only do that when they are going to launch, because you obviously can't keep the fuel in the cooled liquid state for very long. So that means that as long as they're doing it, that means they're a go.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
Unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, unless something happens to make them abort, it is absolutely
like
a
lightning
go
or
right
whatever.
Make sure you pee before you get in there.
now. Yeah. No, that's not true, Ian. They just pee in their suits.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they
right.
do.
Yeah, they recycle that, right?
I do it all the time. It's great.
Didn't
I
you
guess they
watch
just
The
have
Right
something.
Stuff?
Oh, right. You're right.
Permission to pee my suit?
Liz and I just
Houston?
Liz and I just started watching finally For All Mankind
Oh, yeah.
about the moon landing where the Soviets beat
Soviets
America, and then what happens after that.
Yeah.
And we're just getting into it, but apparently the fifth season just was released.
I watched the first episode.
Oh man, so I got to play some catch up here. So we might talk about that on AQ6.
That's right.
Right at some point.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great premise. It's like an alternate history bifurcating at the Apollo and Soviet program. The Soviets just barely beat us to the moon.
Right.
And then
By
that
like a month.
so the space race basically never ends. Right.
Right. Imagine
part of the reason why Apollo, we just sort of gave up on the Apollo missions at 17. It was slated to go to like 23 or something, and then the two things I hear, one is Apollo 13 like really had an effect. They're like, we're rolling the dice every time. Maybe we should just take our win and go.
Yeah.
But the other thing was,
Lack
it's
of
like, well,
interest?
we won. We won the space race. Where there's nothing left to accomplish here.
Wrong.
But
Moon
also,
Base Alpha. All right, whatever.
I've also read that the Saturn V, is bigger than it had to be to get to the moon. because it was actually designed to also be able to go to Mars. And the plan was to use the Saturn V's after the Apollo mission to have a Mars, mission.
Oh, geez.
And then when we decided we weren't doing that, again, there was there's no reason to continue to drop billions on the Apollo missions. But of course, if we were still in a heated space race with the Soviet Union,
forget it, man. Nuclear rockets everywhere. Mars would be.
We would just keep going.
Moon base Alpha, Beta, and Gamma would be out there. Oh, Jesus.
Isn't that annoying? Isn't that annoying?
All the stuff that we thought was going to happen when we were 10 in the early 1970s actually happened in this alternate timeline.
We still don't have real robots in the home.
Yeah. We still don't have jetpacks, flying cars, and robots in the home.
Yep.
I have a Roomba, though.
That's true. A mopping Roomba? Or just a regular, like a vacuum Roomba?
Just a vacuum Roomba.
Oh, yeah. They have mop ones, too.
They do.
Kind of cool.
We have an actual human for that.
Oh. All right, let's go on to some other dingoes. This is
Go ahead, just go for
conspiracy nonsense, but it is what it is. Here we go.
Airplanes. This is more. I'm
So
too
you
stupid
mean
to
to tell
think.
me that an airplane can go through a World Trade Center that had steel structure beams of 4-inch plates every 40 inches using 12 different grades of steel with a yield strength of over 100,000 psi. But now if that same plane would have run into a fire truck, let's say, on a runway, the plane would be destroyed. Yeah, got it.
Why didn't I understand what she just said?
So
she's talking about the plane in LaGuardia.
I get that, but so the plane flies into one of the twin towers,
right?
And it was obliterated.
It was obliterated.
Yeah.
And then
it didn't go through the twin towers.
Right.
It crashed into it, was obliterated.
Right.
But obviously all the fuel. Remember they chose flights that were going to cross the country so that they would have a full tank of fuel.
Yeah.
Oh, that created so much heat. The shock wave knocked the insulation off of the steel support beams,
weakening them.
And the fire then weakened them so it couldn't hold up the weight above it. There's nothing in what she's saying that contradicts that. Then she's saying, but the fire truck hit the plane and
obliterated it.
It didn't obliterate
no, maybe
it.
the cockpit.
It damaged. Yeah, it did a lot of damage to the
see
cockpit.
the picture of the plane. The plane was largely intact.
Yeah.
And here, in terms of
just stupid.
In terms of just kinetic energy, the planes that hit the towers were going probably say 550 miles an hour for the first one, and then maybe 460 for the second one. This plane that hit the truck was doing, I heard 95 miles an hour, which is fast, but there's no comparison in terms of just pure kinetic energy.
Those details don't matter, Bob.
Break. I mean, I found that literally in moments.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. It's so annoying.
So just, more conspiracies on the tickety talk. All right, you can keep tagging us in it. Here's one, maybe we can talk about even just meta-analysis of TikToks, where they barely say the full thing that he's trying to articulate.
Okay.
And yet it still gets, 71,000 likes. So let's see what he has to say in whatever way he can.
Cell that is important, that kills cancer. 99.9% of oncologists will say we don't pay any attention to that. Pick up the phone, call any random oncologist, not to shame them, primary care physician. Pick up the phone and said, you do a CBC, correct? Yes.
Can you define what a CBC is?
A complete blood count. Just you take a blood and you look for...
Yeah, the blood screen that everyone
Blood
gets.
screen.
Yeah.
For whether you're anemic or not anemic.
Yeah.
People understand that, right? Red blood cells. And you see these red blood cells. And you give chemotherapy and radiation, and you ask, what do you look for? Well, we look to see if you're anemic, so we can give you this drug that Amgen makes called Epogen. We look to see whether your platelets have gone down, so we can give you a platelet transfusion. We look to see whether your neutrophils have gone down so that you don't get an infection called neutropenic fever, so we give you this drug Epogen. Well, the problem is, does red blood cells cure cancer? No. Does platelets cure cancer? No. Does neutrophils kill cancer? No. What kills cancer? They're natural killer cells and T cells. So in that CBC, there's a thing called the lymphocytes, correct? Do you look at that? No. The only cell...
All right, so there you go.
This guy's a fucking moron.
So this is
what's the deal,
Dr.
Steve?
Patrick Soon-Shiong.
Yeah.
He's a surgeon.
Doesn't know
who
what the
made
hell he's
billions
talking about.
inventing cancer drugs.
So
says Tucker Carlson.
I mean, he's making. I mean, this is people who, You can have a lot of information, be technically knowledgeable, but this guy doesn't know how to think. Or he does, and he's being deliberately deceptive. So why do we do a CBC in somebody who's getting chemotherapy? Because we want to see how good their cells are at killing cancer? No. We want to see the side effect of the chemotherapy, right? So if the chemotherapy is is causing anemia, we need to treat that. If it's causing low platelets or neutropenia, we need to treat that. So it's like, why you do this guy fucking should know this. Why do you do any test? Not just to know, or not because it's looking at something important, because you're going to do something with the result. And those are the things that you need to do something with the result. So typically you don't get reduced lymphocytes specifically with chemotherapy. But the thing is, I challenge his notion that we don't look at the lymphocytes. Of course you do. We look at everything. That when you order a test, you have to look at all the results. And if the lymphocytes were abnormal, they would be flagged anyway, and you would have to respond to it in some way. But again, the point of doing a CBC is to look for side effects of chemotherapy that you need to treat. The idea that we don't know lymphocytes and natural killer cells kill cancer is ridiculous, because there's now a whole field of immunotherapy for cancer based upon targeting those cells against cancer. So what's his point? What is his point?
To make money.
That we don't know that lymphocytes kill cancer, even though there's a whole field of cancer therapy based on that specific piece of information. It's ridiculous. It's sloppy thinking. It shows, it's amateurish in terms of clinical thinking. He's either a crank or a con artist. That's the only two possibilities.
Yeah. Well, he does seem to sell cancer medication of some sort, or was, a billionaire.
He's a snake oil salesman.
Unfortunately.
Screw that guy.
Yes. Well, that's what you get.
I don't like him.
I don't like him. I don't like him. All right. So let me see. I got this guy.
Oh, yeah.
This fucking guy.
Everybody's a fucking guy. Why is so many of these guys on the internet?
Do y'all remember that time they told us there was a hole in the ozone layer and it was caused by aerosol hairspray?
Isn't that guy too young to know about that?
I mean, he could. I mean, I was around when that was happening, so probably as a kid, so.
All right.
I don't know where it was. I'm pretty sure it was probably like in Texas, just based on the time and the amount of hairspray being used. It was probably there, but we knew we couldn't walk anywhere near that hole, because if we did, we were... And they just continually kept us scared about all kinds of stuff as kids. And it seems like they're still doing it now. But do y'all remember that time? That one was fun.
I don't remember walking near a hole.
He's clearly misremembering his childhood.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that.
So this is like, remember that time they told us about Y2K when the internet was going to shut down? Whatever happened with that? That was fun. They were just scaring us about that. So obviously everyone knows this. The hole in the ozone was real. It was over Antarctica. That's why you didn't walk under the freaking hole, you idiot. It wasn't over Texas or whatever.
And it's a huge success story.
And it was a huge success story. It was caused by CFCs. They banned them, which dramatically reduced the release of CFCs. And then the ozone layer has been slowly recovering since then. I think it'll have complete recovery by 2050 or something.
It's doing really good right now.
It's doing really well. It's most of the way there. It's no longer a problem. That's a success story. But now it's saying, remember that thing they were scaring us about that just magically went away? It didn't magically go away. Thoughtful science-based regulation has improved the situation. Idiot.
Idiot. Got him.
I do hate the whole narrative of, aren't I smart for being cynical and pointing things out and asking questions? No, you're not smart. Cynicism is cheap. That's a stupid person's thought of what being smart and skeptical is just absolutely cheap cynicism.
I do like that. This fucking guy SGU t-shirt.
Yeah, but with a 7 in it?
Do that.
Well, he didn't want to write the...
I know, but what would we do? Would we write the
I don't
whole
know.
word?
I think we'd use the real word.
Use Greek letters or something?
Yeah, we could do, with a 7. That's funny. Or stars. All right. I have a new segment that I want to try out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
did I approve this? I don't remember approving
Steve
this.
doesn't know, but it
How
is about
this?
Steve.
I know what it is. Will it fry?
No. Close. Very close. So this is a segment.
Will it pudding?
Will it pudding?
Whoa.
Hurry up, Ian.
Wait, is that the ending music?
Will it moose? M-O-U-S-S-E. Will
do a
it
little
moose?
So this is called. Hold on.
Hello?
Giving. Okay. Hold on. How do you spell neurologist?
N-E-U.
Ian, are you writing with your toe? What's going on
it's
here?
With the, look, neurologist.
You write your O's backwards.
Do I? Wait, you go like this way? Or you go this way?
Those are testicles.
Okay,
Sorry.
Don't look at that. Giving a neurologist brain. Okay, don't judge how I can type. Brain rot.
Okay, this is the
Okay.
new segment.
This is the new segment. Giving a neurologist brain rot.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm gonna send or post.
That's our new T-shirt right
That's
there.
our new T-shirt. What I'm gonna show y'all is a very popular type of brain rot. Let's see what you think of
Someone
this.
said the new segment should be "Can I lick it?"
Can I lick it? No, that is. We did that already.
Oh, man.
We talked about that sugar statue.
We did do a sugar statue. All right, here we go.
Can you lick it?
Here's the new brain rot. Let's see if we can successfully give Steve a brain rot.
Wake up. It's time. Welcome back to Orbology. Yeah. Welcome back. Lesson 6. Some people don't get it, and that's okay. They weren't chosen like you. Yeah. You were chosen. They can't see the orb, but you can. The orb, yeah, can give you everything that you ever asked for. Nice. But important, this lesson requires your participation. Energy transfer. You're giving me something, and I'm giving you something in return. Me look. Nice. And if you think you can't see it, focus. You're not looking hard enough. Hey, pay attention. Yeah. Focus. Pay attention. Not only are you observing, me look, but you are being observed. Me look. Homework? Yes. Say hi to the man in the velvet mask. He's right behind me, isn't he? All right. Great work. Class dismissed. Yeah. Wake up. It's
Okay.
I will
God.
never get
Thoughts?
this time back. I will never get this time back.
What the hell?
Maybe no more new segments.
This is
from
one
me.
of those
I
instances where
apologize.
you're
That's some kind of Poe thing. I mean,
It's a comedy. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's-
that's not anything serious.
No, it's nothing serious, but it is blowing up on TikTok, and she does
No.
like 1,000 videos of this that are goofy.
Oh, my God.
But it is brain rot in a way.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you mean in a way?
All right.
There are 4 lights.
There are 4 lights. Yikes.
Oh, God. I'm like
Nobody
literally-
wants to have fun anymore.
I just
It's
wanna-
I
pure
want to.
cinema.
I want to
Thank
live
you,
in
Joel.
the
Thank you,
for all
Joel.
mankind timeline.
I just want to go home.
Yeah.
After watching
I'm
that.
leaning towards that way now, too, after only 2 episodes.
So what did you do with your life? I made these videos, you know, where I'm like going like this, and my hair's going like this.
And one
Me
week,
look.
one week they really blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Pay attention. I don't know. It's Orbology. You guys are not subscribed to Orbology
Yeah.
yet?
No, I am absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I
as
know
long as
about
you're
it.
subscribed. All right, so that was the brain rot of this week. Feel
Goodbye.
free to send
Thank
in
you.
some more brain rot chat. Otherwise,
Oh,
I'll have to
see-
give you my brain rot, and that is probably
This
not
is all to
for
just
good.
piss Steve off. I
This
get
is
it.
yeah, it's that's part of the.
And if you rot enough of my brain, I'll become RFK Jr.
That's true.
Ian, I want you.
Trying to make
Anytime you do this segment, you
one
have to
time.
use that text you wrote on the screen.
Okay, I will rewrite it each time. Maybe
Look at that.
giving
What did I
neurologist
miss?
brain rot.
I'm quite stoned, and there was nothing to enjoy about that. That's saying something, man.
Yeah. Silac gets it. We
Oh yeah.
we trust
Silac,
in Silac.
Silac and I are on the same page, man.
I live in an orb. All right. Well, so I don't know if there was anything else that we had other than the TikTok.
All right, so let's transition to Steve educating TikTok on why TikTok sucks.
Yeah, why TikTok is TikToky. What else did we do? Oh, we did an interview, which we could talk about a little bit, maybe. I don't know. We just did an interview, right? For
Yeah.
SciCon,
Oh, yeah.
which is coming up soon. It's on the website. If you
June
go
11 to 14, I think. June
Yep.
11 to 14.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's the let me
Coming
look
up.
at the website.
That's going to be nice. A good old school kind of skeptical conference.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I always enjoy going to SciCon.
Yeah.
The podcast and the extravaganza are on the 12th, though, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and click those links on the event page. You could go to SciCon, ticket, see us in Buffalo. And
Yeah,
give us
shuffle off to
recommendations.
Buffalo.
Yeah, should we? Where's the best buffalo chicken
Buffalo wings?
Buffalo wings.
I don't like buffalo wings.
You know, what about the sauce in general?
No.
You don't like
You
buffalo
don't like hot sauce with
No.
butter? I think it's just hot sauce and
Okay.
butter.
Everyone has their own
Yeah,
taste.
I can't choose what I like
I
or
would-
don't like, Jay.
I-
As you frequently remind me.
I know that. I'm perfectly fine with you not.
Okay,
liking
what
it.
about?
don't
Well,
have a
I
big
know you
love
don't
for
like
it
blue
anyway.
cheese,
Jay's
but what
wearing
about
shorts.
ranch?
I wore shorts
No,
today.
ranch is
No, I
horrible.
do
Ranch is
this.
horrible too,
I
yeah.
wore shorts
That
today
makes
to celebrate the fact that the weather has significantly changed.
It was actually warm yesterday.
Yeah, it was. It was like
I brought the garbage out last night, 10 p.m. in a T-shirt, and I was perfectly comfortable.
I'm back to
That-
bamboo season now. I
That
could
hasn't
actually-
happened since
that's right,
September.
Steve.
Bamboo time.
All right, have a great day,
Bye,
everybody.
people.
Watch
All right,
the
we're gonna do
lunch.
some TikToks and then say bye bye to the boys. There will be a political reality
Breaking
podcast
in.
coming. Yep, no
All right.
problem. Episode
Steve.
coming out tonight or
Hey,
today.
send me your topic for tomorrow today.
Tomorrow, today. All right, so yeah, we're gonna have a PR episode dropping today. It is behind the paywall, so go to patreon.com/politicalreality for
Well, I'll
that.
meet you at the place.
But we will do these TikToks in just a moment.
11 at the
Let
place.
me set this up. TikTok. Okay. Steve is coming through. All right. Bye, Bob. Next time, I think I was going to make an Easter bread for today, but I'm going to make an Easter bread for next week, I believe. We shall see.
We have a great Easter bread recipe that Bob makes. It's
The
really-
Paloma?
Paloma, yeah.
Yeah, we made that.
He
one
made
time.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
for one
yeah,
of
yeah. That's good. That's
one
very
of
good.
the
I have another
Rule of Breads.
recipe that I will keep a secret, and then we will partake maybe next week. All right, so we got the frequency guy, frequency of thoughts, like where thoughts.
Yeah.
You want to do that one first?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do that one. Stand
The
by.
brain as receiver.
The
I've probably
brainless
done one of these
receiver.
before, but
Oh, wait, you know what?
you guys have time machines now. Be nice.
Uh-oh, double Steve. Ignore that. Boop. There we go.
How cool would that be to have a TARDIS? That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. Could just have a police box in the back. Sure, we could get one of those, right? Anybody have a free police box that they're willing to part with? Oh, let me fix this camera. Right. There we go. That one, this one. Stand by. Boop doo.
In case you haven't heard the word, scientists have discovered that thoughts do not come from our brain, and they actually come to our brain. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, what the hell? And they provide the example of when you're trying to think of something to say, but it's on the tip of your tongue and you can't remember, and then all of a sudden, boom, it comes to you. It literally comes to your brain from an external source. Then I started thinking, how can an external source have a thought? What does that even mean? So similar to a television, when you tune into a certain channel, you receive the image that's on that channel. When your mind is thinking a certain way, that particular mindset is a channel. It is a frequency that attracts certain thoughts. Different thoughts exist in different frequencies. When you vibrate and exist at a higher frequency, you attract positive thoughts. When you exist at a lower frequency, you attract negative thoughts.
So this is interesting. It seems like he misunderstood some bit of neuroscience and then just decided to completely riff off of his own misunderstanding. Although it's certainly possible he knew where he wanted to go and is sort of backfilling, like almost either through confirmation bias or almost deliberately misunderstanding the science. So no, neuroscientists do not say that a thought comes to your brain from the outside. That is no part of neuroscience. That does not happen. When you are trying to remember something and then it suddenly comes to mind, that is just one part of your brain communicating to another part of your brain. Those memories, the information that you're searching for is stored in your brain somewhere, and you are oftentimes subconsciously even, your brain is searching for a match. Where's that information? And then it finds it, and then it filters up to your awareness. You become aware of that information. You recall it. That's all just the brain communicating with itself. There's no information coming in from the outside. And no, thoughts do not exist outside the brain. This is, however, a common philosophical claim. This is a one form of dualism. dualism being the notion that the mind and the brain are not exactly the same thing, right? The mind is somehow, to some extent, separate from the brain, where the brain cannot entirely explain the mind. It is a philosophically dubious and completely scientifically worthless notion. Neuroscience is doing just fine, thank you, explaining how all mental function works purely with brain function. That doesn't mean we understand 100% about the brain, but it means everything we do understand fits very well within that paradigm, and it's advancing quite nicely. This is where I think the brain as receiver dualism doesn't work, because you can change someone's thoughts by changing the physical structure of the brain, right? That would be like, they often use the TV analogy. Your brain's like a TV picking up a TV signal. Can you change what the actors do on the screen by altering the electronics in the TV? No. The signal cannot be changed. The only thing the TV is doing is picking up that signal. But so far, we haven't found anything about any kind of cognitive or neurological function that we cannot alter by altering the physical properties of the brain, by surgically altering it, pharmacologically altering it, or electromagnetically altering it. Now with transcranial magnetic stimulation, we are getting good at turning on and off different circuits in the brain to do pretty much anything that we want. It's just a matter of learning all the different circuits and what they do and et cetera. But there doesn't appear to be any pragmatic limit to how much we can alter how you think, how you feel, how you perceive, what you remember, anything by altering the brain itself. That's because the mind is the brain. The mind is what the brain does. It's no signal coming in from the outside. There is zero evidence for that. There is no reason to hypothesize that. And no, thoughts are not coming from the outside into your brain.
All right. Thoughts, brains. Okay. Go here. Do this one. Thoughts, brain. All right. Very good. Whoops. This one. All right. Let's move on to this guy. Actually, this is not nothing. This is just audio.
Yeah.
I think it's just music, so I don't want to play that. Let me go to the first scene. Basically this. I mean, I guess you could just start talking right from this. I'll just do it.
Yeah, so what was, I looked up the name of the person. Did they show it in any of the slides?
Dr. Tanaka?
Yeah, is that Tanaka?
Yeah.
Tanaka. Yeah, okay.
Usually
just want to make sure I say it correctly.
very literal. All right, here we go. And then I'll switch to... Actually, hold on. Let me full screen it so it fits that. No, it doesn't do that. I don't want the music. Hold on. Let me change the picture-in-picture a little bit. Just because it's weird. This one. Scoop. Scoop. Oh, wait. Don't I have that? Hold on, chat. Hold on. There we go. All right, that's good enough. All right, here we go. All right, we're rolling.
Okay, you're not going to play any of it?
Well, I don't want to play the music.
All right, that's fine. All right, that's fine. All right, so here's the thing. This is an internet urban legend. This is not true, meaning that this study does not exist. I looked for it hard, and I went to the primary literature. I looked on the person's name. I just looked for any study which shows this. This study does not exist. Now, this person, Dr. Tanaka, is a researcher, and she has published studies on cold frequencies, but the only study in cold frequencies that she did was the effect of having older siblings on how many colds you get. And it turns out in her study that having older siblings decreases the number of colds you get throughout the year. Younger children, like if you have a 5-year-old and they have like one older sibling or multiple older siblings, how many colds do they get throughout the year? She found a decrease in the number of colds with more older siblings. That's it. No, she did not do any research that's published anywhere that I could find anywhere on relative cold frequency in the U.S. versus Japan, or the effect of gargling, water or other things on the cold frequency. There was one study from Japan in 2003 that did look at the effects. Again, it wasn't a comparison of U.S. to Japan. It was just looking at the effects of gargling water, and then another one on gargling in it, so a substance that does have some antibacterial activity, versus usual care, which means nothing, on cold frequencies. And they found a 30% decrease, which is like barely statistically significant. Now this, fake urban legend is saying when the difference is 1 to 2 per year versus 8 to 12 per year. That's like a 4 to 12 times reduction, but they only found a 30% reduction, not even like half the number. And this was not a blinded study, right? Because people obviously know if they're gargling water versus doing nothing. And this was in Japan, where gargling is a common practice. So if you're doing an open label study of a cultural common practice, that introduces a lot of confounding factors. And it was just one study. I would like to see this study replicated. And one way that you could do it, because you say, how could you blind people to gargling? It's like, well, if you did it, let's say not in Japan, where it's already a cultural practice, and you introduced 2 or 3 different interventions, and the people don't know what the test intervention is versus the placebo intervention, then you could see, like, how does gargling water compare to doing other things, which would seem just as random to somebody in the West, for example, than somebody in Japan, where it's a cultural practice. Anyway, as far as I could find, that study has not been done. Now, is it possible that regularly gargling with just plain old water reduces the risk of catching upper respiratory viral infections? It doesn't seem that plausible. I can't say that it's impossible. It's also pretty benign, just gargling with water. I don't think there's anyone trying to make money off of this, and there's no risk to gargling with plain old water, so I'm not that concerned about it. If you want to gargle with water because you think it's going to reduce your risk of common colds, go ahead. But don't cite this fake study. This study does not exist. The data we have is pretty modest and is not very good. The quality of the evidence is not very good. It probably would be good to actually study this in a rigorous way, because if it were true, it would be a cheap way to decrease, colds throughout the year by 30%, according to the preliminary evidence, not the dramatic reduction that they're claiming in this fake video. So somebody just made this up. Somebody is lying. Whoever made this video, they're pulling this, I don't know how many steps removed they are from the initiation of this fake study, but this study doesn't exist. This information is fake. This doctor did not do this study. So don't believe something. I mean, how many times do I have to say this, right? Don't believe it just because you're reading it on the internet. It doesn't take long, to do some basic research to find that this is not correct. So stay skeptical.
All righty.
The study doesn't exist, Ian.
Oops. Oh my gosh. How could they do that to us? I mean, if a study has to exist to prove my point, why bother?
But you can imagine the study existing.
Yeah. It's like, imagine it did exist. Then what? Then what with your science? You know what you didn't say in the interview that I'm going to give a little background on is the... was it the science? Was it
the science?
You boys,
we've told that story a lot.
Yeah, of the what's her face?
That was the Warrens. We investigated the Warrens for a long time. That was a long process, and we were very friendly with them. We were not confrontational. We were like, we just want to know, and we were honest. If you have good evidence, we want to see it. Show us your best evidence. And one of our conversations, Lorraine Warren said to us, "What happened to you boys? Was it the science?" She was talking about our lack of faith, which they found very disturbing. What a couple of cranks they were.
What a kooky
bunch. They were, I could say this now because they're both dead, they were frauds. They knew what they were doing. Yeah. They made a comfortable living, telling ghost stories and making shit up, and they were complete frauds. I mean, he might have thought that this was true, because he was also extremely unsophisticated. and uneducated. That's why when you watch the movies about them, it's such a joke. Like if you saw them in person and then you compare that to their movie personas, it's night and day. Like they get portrayed as like these serious researchers. They were a couple of old cranks. It was embarrassing. It really was.
With a hoarding obsession of
oh my god, he was a jamoke. I mean, Ed
and weird things.
Ed Warren was, he was a joke.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Now that we have successfully defended science on the internet,
saved the internet for another day.
Saved one person at a time. Let's see. Did we hit all the topics? I think.
Watch the Artemis launch tonight. It's going to be awesome. Tell your friends. Spread the word.
That's right.
It's not as prominent in the media as it should be. This is a huge event.
Yeah, going back around the moon. That's pretty impressive. Pretty awesome.
First deep space mission in 54 years or whatever.
It's crazy. Yeah, we need that awe of the cosmos again.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Remember to go to theskepticsguide.org. Check out all the events upcoming. We have the LA show that is available. The tickets are available for purchase. Also, anybody who's coming to New Zealand, there's now the New Zealand Extravaganza tickets available. So go ahead and do that. It is in USD, but like when you convert it, it's like, I don't know.
And we have our LA private show plus extended.
Right.
People asked, why are you charging more for this one? This is a 5-hour event.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't find a venue for the extravaganza, so we're basically doing 2 in 1.
Yeah. So in lieu of an extravaganza as well, we just do a bigger shebang. And then if you want to become a patron, please become a patron.
Hey, we always appreciate that.
We always appreciate that. You get the episode a day early, ad free. You get the audio when I cut the live stream audio from this.
A lot of extra content on there.
Extra content and fun stuff like that. Patreon.com/skepticsguide. And that's it. Yeah, and check out the email. It's going to come out probably tomorrow morning, honestly. And that's all we got.
All right, bye,
thanks,
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ian. So long.
So long.